Hey guys, Frosty Knives here, back with another video. And today I want to show off another piece of my collection. So as you know, I may have made mention in other videos that I am a big Anne McCaffrey fan. And I read a lot of her stuff, read of her dragon books back when I was a kid. So I have made it one of my missions, or side quests, if you will. I wanted to collect all of her books. I wanted to collect every book that Anne McCaffrey has put out, and I have come close, I think, to that goal. There are still a few books of hers that I don't have, but I think I would say about 90% towards getting all of Anne McCaffrey's works. And today I decided I wanted to show off that collection. So we are going to head on over to the quest cart, and we're going to take a look at it. All right, guys, here we are at the quest cart, and yes, as you can see, it is an actual cart. My wife found me a library cart at a yard sale, of all places. I'm not sure why a home would have one, but she picked it up for $2, so now I am the proud owner of a library cart. And on this cart is my entire collection of Anne McCaffrey books. So, as you can see, there's the first shelf, the second shelf, and the third shelf, and they are all loaded with McCaffrey's works. So, let's start at the top. And on the top shelf is all of her dragon books, and these are all of her dragon books in paperback. So going in sort of, I guess, publication order, or maybe the order that I actually printed out, as you can see right here, I have a list of all of her dragon books, and that's the order that I put them in. So starting off with first book in the series, Dragon Flights. And then we got Dragon Quest. And then we've got Dragon Song. I have 2 copies of Dragon Song. I have this copy, and then I have an older copy version of Dragon Song with sort of like an old-timey cover right there. Oh, look at that. I picked that up at a yard sale for $1. Then we've got the White Dragon. Then we've got Dragon Drums, another old-timey version of her book. I have another copy of Dragon Drums on the third shelf, which we'll see. Then we've got Moretta, Dragon Lady of Pern, followed by Nerilka's Story, followed by Dragon's Dawn, and then we got Renegades of Pern, The Wares of Pern, New York Times bestseller, Chronicles of Pern First Fall, which is a short story collection. Got The Dolphins of Pern, got Dragon's Eye, and we've got The Master Harper of Pern. And that is actually all of her books, all of her dragon books that were not co-written with her son. So these are all Anne's dragon books. The rest of the dragon books that I don't have were the ones that she either co-wrote with her son, or that her son wrote alone. So that covers the top shelf, and we're going to move on down to the bottom shelf. Now we're going to be getting out of her Dragon Rider series. She did a lot of other books besides the dragons. So we're going to start over here, and I'm just going to slide this over. So this is one of her collections, one of her other books, one of her science fiction series that weren't dragon books. This is a 5-book series. I only have 4 of the books, but it's the Ship Who Sang series, and we start with the Ship Who Sang, and then we go to Partnership, which is the sequel. Then we've got the Ship Who Searched right here. And then we've got the Ship Who Won. And I'm missing the 5th book, which is, I believe, the something about a city. And these are all stories about machines or ships or cities, technological entities that have had human brains implanted in them. And that's what this series is about. And then we come over here. This is another one of her series. This is the Freedom series. I do actually have all of these books of the Freedom series. So we've got Freedom's Landing, which is the first book. Then we've got Freedom's Choice. And we've got Freedom's Challenge. And then we've got Freedom's Ransom. And that is the complete series of the Freedom books. And then over here, I've got two other books that are just sort of, I guess, one-offs. This is the written when she started. She's also written a lot of books with other authors. So this is the A Corner book, Acorna. The Unicorn Girl. There's a whole series of these. When we get down to the hardcovers, you'll see more. But I believe this is the first in the Acorna series. And then I've got The Girl Who Heard Dragons. Which is 25 short stories. Right? Well, I don't know if it's 25 short stories. It's a short story collection. We'll leave it at that. And then because there's so many of them, I got to move these to the bottom so I can get you to show you the behind stuff. All right, so behind that, again, still continuing with other series that Anne McCaffrey has written, I have the Dinosaur. Now, this is kind of an interesting one. This is Dinosaur Planet. Now, she wrote two books for Dinosaur Planet. Dinosaur Planet and Dinosaur Planet Survivors. So this is Dinosaur Planet Survivors. It's the second of the Dinosaur Planet. But this book right here, The Mystery of Areta, that's got both books in it. So this is a 2-in-1, Dinosaur Planet and Dinosaur Planet Survivors. What does it say there? 2 enchanting novels for the price of one. So I do have all of the Dinosaur Planet books. I just have them in two separate ways. And then we've got the next series, which is the Power series, I guess it's called. That's a trilogy of books with her and Elizabeth Ann Scarborough. We've got The Powers That Be, which is the first one. Then you got Power Lines and Power Play. So this is a complete trilogy that she wrote. And then another trilogy of hers that she wrote. I have all of these. I have the first book in paperback, in hardcover. So in this particular series, it's a book called Kilishandra, which you'll see on the bottom shelf. And then it's The Crystal Line and The Crystal Singer. So that's another trilogy that she wrote, and I have all of that. And then here's a third trilogy that she wrote with Elizabeth Moon. And this is Sassenach. And then The Death of Sleep. And then Generation Warriors. So again, that is a whole complete series. And then we're getting into some of the Talent books, or Tower and Hive books. These three books take place all in the same sort of universe. This is The Rowan. I love a lot of these covers. Maybe we'll show the covers off at some point if you want to see the covers. Damia. If you want to see the covers, let me know. We can do this again. And then we've got Crisis at Duna. I always like that cover for some odd reason. I don't know why. So those are all three books that take place in the same universe. And then rounding this off, we've got a book called Get Off the Unicorn, which again is, I believe, a short story compilation or a novella compilation. And then I've got this sort of anomaly here, which is A Crossroads Adventures in the World of Anne McCaffrey's Pern, Dragon Harper. To my knowledge, this is a choose-your-own-adventure type of book. It's an actual kind of game. Not really a story. It's just more of a choose-your-own-adventure type thing. All right, so that's the second shelf. And now I'm going to just move this aside, and we're going to take a look at the bottom shelf where most of the hardcovers are. All right, so then on the bottom shelf, we've got To Ride Pegasus. Sort of like the Pegasus series. There's 3 of these. And then we've got Pegasus in Flight. And then we've got, in hardcover, the final volume, Pegasus in Space. Yep. Here's another copy of Dragon Drums, the Harper Hall trilogy, which I've got. Well, actually, no, I don't have it. So I'm sorry. Yeah, I do. It's right up here. Dragon Drums. That's the like the original copy, and this is just another version of Dragon Drums. Okay. And then we've got, starting with the hardcovers, we've got Anne McCaffrey's Kilishandra, which is the Crystal Singer books. What does it say? A new Crystal Singer novel. Yep. So that's that. Then I've got the Harper Hall of Pern, which is 3 books in one, and it has get you to the page here. It has Dragon Song, Dragon Singer, Dragon Drums. So it's the Harper Hall trilogy. It's a YA. It's a young adult dragon series. I have that. We just looked at Pegasus in Space. All right, then we've got Nemesia's Ship. That's another hardcover that I have. Then we got another Oddball series. This is just 2 books that she wrote about cats. I kid you not. It's her and Elizabeth Ann Scarborough. It is the tale of the Baroque cats, and there's 2 of them, Catacombs and Catalyst. I kid you not. These are about, I guess, sentient cats. And then rounding it off, we talked about up here. We talked about, where is it? No. It's over here. We talked about Acorna, right? Being there's more in that universe. Here they are. Acorna's People, and then I've got First Warning, Acorna's Children, First Warning, Acorna's Children, Second Wave, and Acorna's Children, Third Watch. And for those of you out there that may be looking at me going, "Hey, Frosty, did you just rob a goddamn library?" Because these are all library books. You are correct. I did not rob a library, but these are all library books. My local library, I volunteered there a little bit, and I got to know them, and they knew that I was looking for Anne McCaffrey books. So anytime anybody donated books to their book sale, they would always pull out all of the Anne McCaffrey books, and they put them in a bag for me, and they say, if you want them, we've set them aside for you. You can come and buy them. So that's how I got a lot of this collection, because people would hold them aside for me, and then I would just go in and I'd buy all the Anne McCaffrey books. So that is my Anne McCaffrey cart. Let me put these back on the shelf because, you know, I'm a librarian. This is a library cart, and you want to make sure that they're all on the shelf there. So there's the home for them. All right, guys, that is my quest cart of Anne McCaffrey novels. Okay, guys, so that is my mini tour of my Anne McCaffrey collection. It grew over, you know, I collected most of these books over, well, the majority of them I got in like a year period because people knew I wanted them and they were just holding them for me, and they were like, we got new McCaffrey stuff, would you like to buy them? So that is my Anne McCaffrey collection. If you want to see any of the covers or anything like that, because we didn't really go over the covers, there's some really cool covers that I think in this on her books. For example, you know, there's Dragon's Eye. You know, some really good covers. I'm big into covers, and I like a lot of the older books. And some of these books are really old, as in they came out in the 70s or early 80s. Some of them may be originals, but I hope you enjoyed my collection. My ultimate goal in collecting all of the Anne McCaffrey books is sort of a twofold goal, right? I want to get all of the books, but eventually I would like to read them all, just because I really liked the Dragon universe. Some of her other books, her science fiction books, some of the ones that I read were okay. I haven't read all of it, but I do remember liking her Dragon novels. So if you have any questions about any of these, any comments, drop them down below. I hope you enjoyed this collection. I mean, I have a lot of collections. We've talked about my Stephen King collection, and in the previous video I showed you a long while back, I showed you my Star Wars collection, all my Star Wars books, and now here is my Anne McCaffrey collection. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, again, let me know. Talk about things. Drop me a comment. If you liked it, like and subscribe and share it around and tell your friends and all of your enemies and maybe some neighbors and a couple milkmen too. And until next time, happy reading, and I will see you in the next video.